Philosophers have said that there are only 7 stories we keep repeating throughout history. Tonight, we're going to pick one and tell it again. This is The Treatment, a podcast about stories with your hosts Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. The Treatment is filmed inside a live studio audience.
It's nice and warm in this audience.
It's extremely warm.
It's dark. I'm covered in fluids. And I'm ready to tell a new story. But first, Mark, I hear that you have listened to some podcast reviews of recent films, and you heard one of our take on the story of Ichabod Crane, which was called Sweetheart Hotel. Was it a glowing review?
It was. This is a review from Rolling Stone. Gorgeous filmmaking that brims over with funhouse thrills and ravishing romance. 9 out of 10, Rolling Stone.
Oh, thank you, Rolling Stone. Those kind words are greatly appreciated.
That was their review of Sweetheart Hotel, the last film we made here on The Treatment. And now what's on the spinning circle of stories this week, Bill?
On the spinning circle of stories, we have The Snow Queen, Romeo and Juliet, Handful of Spiders, Dracula, Isekai, Hansel and Gretel, Chosen One High Fantasy, Unproblematic Teen Bowner Comedy, and Rumpelstiltskin. And the wheel has landed on Dracula. Now this one is one of mine.
I was about to say I don't remember whose that was.
Shit, now I have to remember the plot of Dracula. A book I haven't read in like 15 years.
I like how normally it's Christmas in July, but apparently we're doing Halloween in July.
Yeah, we just did Sleepy Hollow, and now we're doing Dracula. So Dracula, if I recall correctly, is a story about a real estate guy who travels to Eastern Europe, a place called Transylvania, which I believe is in Romania?
Yes.
Modern-day Romania. Because the Count there, Count Dracula, wants to buy a new house in London, and while he's there, he falls victim to the vampire that is Dracula. And the whole book is told through letters, which is kind of important. Letters and journal entries, I think. And there's his lady back in London who, when the ship carrying Dracula's body shows up on shore, it kills a bunch of people, and he kills a bunch of people, and he starts coming to her in the middle of the night, and he bites her, and she starts to turn. And there's also a Van Helsing, I think. Is Van Helsing in Dracula, or is that?
Yes.
All right. There's a Van Helsing guy, and he's going to hunt Dracula, and then they end up finding him and hitting him with a stake in the heart. And it's just kind of funny that we're doing this now because we're covering this on Soon Major Podcast in 3 months. But everyone knows the story of Dracula, right? Right?
I mean, mostly.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've read it outright.
And I've never read it because I can't read. But when it was summarized to me, I really liked the bit you had mentioned how it's not told as a straightforward narrative in its original version. It's excerpts from letters and diaries and newspaper articles and such.
I believe the term is epistolary novel.
Yes.
Yes. Although I would rather we not say piss so much, or any other dirty words.
Well, shit.
Some other things that are just kind of occurring to me. There's, the team that comes together of all of Lucy's, exes.
It's Van Helsing. It's Jonathan Harper. No?
Harker.
With a K.
He's busy convalescing in Budapest at this time.
Okay. He's the real estate guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lucy
Westenra.
Is that her last name?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I was is that another character I can't remember? I thought there was another woman. I didn't think her name was Lucy. I thought it was Elizabeth.
Yeah, so there's Mina Murray, who then gets married and becomes Mina Harker.
Mina, that's her name.
Yes.
Her best friend, Lucy Westenra, who gets marriage proposals from guys we'll talk about in a minute. But then she mysteriously wastes away and dies. And she's the first vampire in England.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
that Dracula makes. Her 3 guys are Dr. John Seward, the American man, Quincy Morris, whose deal is he's an American written by someone who's never actually met an American.
Yes, I believe he's a very aggressive cowboy stereotype.
And Arthur Holmwood, a man with no personality,
Guess which one
That's
she
the
picks.
one Lucy marries. Then after Lucy becomes sick, Dr. Seward's friend, Professor Abraham von Helsing, comes to help. And he's like really Danish or Nederlanded. He's very silly. Except for when he gets like a whiff of there being a Dracula, and then he super fucking seriouses.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to being silly until it's time to be serious again.
Very Germanic.
Yeah. So, we're glossing over a lot of details that aren't super important right now.
Yeah.
Because I think what is super important right now, and usually it's one of the first questions we ask on this podcast, is the one of tone. This is like a traditional, historically, this is a horror story.
Yeah.
But also, I think we need to decide, are we telling Dracula, or are we doing an offshoot?
That's a good question.
Are we doing a prequel? Are we doing a sequel? Are we doing a focus on one of the other characters, rather than...
Are we retelling?
Are we retelling?
So in terms of prequel, I would say no to that, specifically having played the Ravenloft campaign in Dungeons & Dragons, which is basically just that.
Yeah. And I don't know if I want to do a sequel, because there's been at least 1,999, because you and I watched Dracula 2, or rather, I watched Dracula 2000 in college and told you about it, and it was not very good. There have been Mel Brooks. Was it Mel Brooks that did Dracula Dead and Loving It? Or was that just Leslie Nielsen in it?
That was Leslie Nielsen in it.
Because there have been a lot of takes on Dracula.
There have.
Like the classic 30s one, which is an abridged adaptation. It doesn't include everything. Similar to like the 30s Frankenstein. There was the 92 Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is more to the letter of the novel than other versions are.
With the big old butt hair.
Yeah, the big old butt hair and a lot of titties in that movie. A lot of titties.
So, I'm going to suggest something knowing that you guys will probably veto it. But affectionately, it's been kind of a sausage party on the pod lately. So my suggestion is we do not quite a prequel. It would be like during the events of the novel, but we basically do the story focused entirely on Lucy, but in the sense of like, it's kind of a Jane Austen with secret vampire happening.
So we focus more, like our A plot is the romance angle with these three suitors?
Yes.
And the B plot is, why do I suddenly feel woozy?
Yes. But I don't know, it would kind of technically, I guess, be a psychological drama, a la, like, Phantom Thread.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what the end game is. Because that character does not survive the novel.
She does not, you are correct.
What about... Okay. See, I want to veto your idea, but you cut me off at the pass by predicting that ahead of time, so I can't. So instead of vetoing it, I'm going to spin it in a dumb direction. Instead of focusing on Lucy, like, in the first third of Dracula, let's spin off on our own and focus on what Lucy does after she dies, but before she is killed again.
So just when she's hunting and eating children?
Yes. From her perspective.
I think that movie is called, fuck. I'm trying to make a joke and I can't remember it. Vampire's Kiss.
Except he's not actually a vampire.
Because there's a lot of implications with Lucy. Like, there's absolutely a way to tell the story, and that the reason she picks the boring man is because she's a queer woman. And there's a lot to suggest in the text she's being punished for being queer and for being beautiful and possibly sexually active.
She also picks the wealthy guy.
They're all wealthy.
True.
One thing that I don't think gets talked about enough when discussing vampires is, and maybe it does get discussed enough, but I want it discussed more, vampires are sexy. They've just always been sexy. It's always just been dripping with sex.
Sexy, gay, horny.
Yeah. What if we married our two ideas and followed the Bloofer lady? I fucking hate not the English language, but specifically like English. Fucking the Bloofer lady. We follow the Bloofer lady who does. How can I describe this? Because I've never seen a movie. Remember, once upon a time there was like a zombie movie from the perspective of a zombie?
Yeah, I was in that.
Warm Bodies.
I was in that.
Yes.
Warm Bodies.
I mean, we covered that on the podcast. That's an old joke.
So again, I've never seen a movie, but in Warm Bodies, it follows the perspective of this zombie who doesn't fully remember who he was before he was a zombie.
Uh-huh.
So what if our Bloofer lady doesn't fully remember who she was before she woke up in this crypt, but she has flashbacks of her time as Lucy being courted by these boring men.
So what I'm hearing is, here comes the motherfucking Dracula's bride.
A little bit of that. I was thinking...
I'm thinking like part Jane Austen Rome, because I want to keep that like love quadrangle bit in the first act. And then second act is she falls ill, and then third act is the bride.
Because I was almost thinking, like, we could also go almost a What We Do in the Shadows with it.
But I mean, like, What We Do in the Shadows is already done basically that. There's 6 seasons or whatever of that TV show that I have not seen that I'm sure they've done something similar.
That's fair.
At least with that tone.
And then I think if we are doing that, we need to decide why. What are we saying? What is it what it themes? It's about stuff. Because, I mean, the obvious theme is English men are boring. But,
I mean, if we keep the setting the same, the lack of autonomy in women, when she finally does get autonomy, and it's because she's a monster and she's demonized and all of that for it.
We're probably not the people to tell this story, but I think it would be really interesting to see a more modern adaptation done in Bollywood style, where it's an Indian woman. Or if we don't necessarily want to do full modern, what about, like, 80s? I feel like the 80s are intrinsically tied to vampires.
Well, there's that whole thing with, when Republicans are in charge, vampires are hot, and when Democrats are in charge, zombies are hot, or the other way around. I think it's the other way around. Yeah.
I'm just thinking 80s is known for, like, excess and glamour and bigness, and that's also kind of opulence. Opulence is the word I was looking for. And those are also things that are associated with vampires.
Dracula Dead and Loving It was Mel Brooks. Ew. It's gotta be his worst.
Ew. One thing that's kind of coming to me... Oh, wait, I may be... Yes, I'm wrong about this. Never mind. I was going to say that Lucy doesn't know Van Helsing. So when she comes back as a vampire, there's this guy there that she doesn't know who makes her husband kill her. But then I looked up a little bit and remembered that she does meet Van Helsing when she is sick and dying. So that doesn't...
The thing is,
hold the...
If we're going with she doesn't remember who she was...
I kind of like the sting, though, of her being killed by the men she loved. Or at least professed to love, if we're following the queer analogy. Or the queer reading of Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we could keep that theme in there of, like, the men who claim to love her kill her as soon as she shows that autonomy. Because they'd rather her be dead than her own person.
Yeah.
I mean, she does eat children. That is, like, definitely a thing that she does.
Yeah, and it's not a good thing that she does that. But, now, hear me out. They are British children.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I think the correct term is larvae.
So, if we're tweaking it anyway, do we want to still have her consuming children, or...
I think if we're playing the going with a queer reading, which I don't hate, I think we need to stay away from because that's one of the oldest accusations that is thrown at the queer community is that they're all pederasts and child
Diddlers?
predators. Yeah. So I think if we're gonna keep this understanding of Lucy as queer, I would rather not have her eat children.
Okay, so then...
I don't mind then, like, local media accusing her of that.
So my question then is, going along with the queer reading, is she targeting men because she considers them less valuable, or is she targeting women because she doesn't quite understand why she's drawn to them? Are we going with she doesn't want to hurt women because she for some reason considers them more valuable? Or the opposite, is it she targets women because she's drawn to them and doesn't understand why?
I feel like the second. She has been, I don't want to say corrupted by Dracula.
Yeah.
But, like, you now have kind of like an ability to do whatever you want. And it's no longer a question of, like, what does society say? What does society insist that I value? It's what do I want?
I like that.
So, with that said, I think what she does is go to every Taco Bell in London and get as many Crunchwrap Supremes as possible.
My man.
And then swims in them like Scrooge McDuck.
And then gets explosive diarrhea.
No, but
from the Taylor Farms. Oh no, this is England. They have actual fucking regulatory bodies that function there. For now.
For now.
You're right, she gets mad cow disease. I'm sorry, Cody, you were going to say something before my stupid Taco Bell joke?
I was gonna say I like where your head is at, and I think then we have a secondary theme of people not being allowed to know who they are or explore who they are, hurt the other people, hurt their own community. So I think overall the message, the idea that we're going with is forcing people to be in boxes harms everyone. Mm-hmm. Literally and metaphorically.
I like that.
So then my next question is, in what way are we telling this story? By which I mean, is this something linear or jumping around with flashbacks?
I think it could be... I mean, because this is a story where everyone knows how it ends, I think it could be a strong start to start with the end and go back to the beginning.
Wicked it?
Yeah, like start with her death, start with the actual death, and then by the time we get back to the death, the second death, we understand the emotional impact of it more, and we have, like, vibes on all of these different characters.
So linearly, then?
Yes, with the exception of the opening.
Okay.
Did you have a thought about doing it linearly?
Yeah, I was just thinking that if we... I love starting it at the ending and then going back. But if we started with her, I almost want to say rebirth, not knowing who she is, and having flashbacks to the before time that she doesn't fully parse because she's not that person anymore. I mean, she is, but she also isn't.
Mm-hmm.
At the risk of relying on the bride again, I think that movie handles it pretty well. In terms that she doesn't necessarily get flashbacks, but there are things that people say about her, and she's like, no, that's not correct. But she doesn't react in, like, verbal ways, but you can see her react to certain things. I'm thinking of a pretty spoilery scene at the end, so I won't say it, but the oysters scene, when Frankenstein is telling her how he proposed with oysters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she's like, no, you fucking didn't. I hate oysters.
See, yeah, I have never seen a movie. I especially haven't seen that one, so I don't know how they handle it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you recommend it?
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And I think we didn't fully confirm, so I just want to double back on, is it the 80s? Is it the 1880s? Is it the 2080s?
I think we're changing enough. Let's keep it in the original setting.
Yeah.
The original time and place, the original character names. This is Dracula from a new perspective.
For the record, I agree, but whenever I have a very, very bad idea, I need to get it out.
Please do.
We set it in, like, 3480, and everything is pretty much exactly the same, and we do not comment on it. That somehow in the next 2,000 years, we just kind of loop back around to Victorian times.
I was gonna say the only difference is that it's Victoria too.
It takes place in Japan, but everyone just still speaks with a British accent, and there's London icons everywhere, and we don't explain it.
There's a Big Ben, but now it's digital.
I mean, there's literally a performance of Antigone right now that is being done in, I don't know the name of it, but it's being done in I believe the Aztec language, and it's being set in Aztec, but in like the Aztec times, but it's the Greek play Antigone, and it's literally called Antigone, the Language of Kings. So I just think that's a neat concept.
It is. So it's 1880, and the bloofer lady has just been killed for good.
Yes.
So I have opened the Wikipedia page for Lucy, and in it says before they kill her that they find her feasting on a child.
Yes.
So I think that child is the next piece of the story, the plot that we need to iron out. Because obviously we've established she's not going to be hurting kids. I think she needs to get a kid out of a bad situation. And these men who come in who have these preconceived notions of what she is and what she's doing just assume she's eating this child before killing her. You know what I mean?
I like that. I think it could be a fun, I don't want to say twist, but it could be a fun thing where maybe there was an adult man hurting the child and she killed the man, and that's why she's all like bloody and it looks like she has been consuming someone, and maybe why the child is also bloody. And that would be like an end of thing reveal. Alternatively, my suggestion would be it is a woman and they are having a consensual situation, semi-consensual, as consensual as thrall could be, but some sort of consensual experience, and the men interpret it as violence. Because women can't do that.
Okay. The reason I brought it up the way that I did was that theme of queerness and how often queer people are perceived as child predators, which is a specifically like targeted thing to try and, get queerness out of society by the right wing.
Uh-huh.
Having them call her that in the media and whatnot, when in reality she's just trying to help a kid out of a bad situation, like really like irons out that theme specifically.
Yeah.
Like, the parallel would be, like, a drag brunch is just a queer person, or not a drag brunch, a drag, like, library reading. It's just somebody reading to kids a story, and getting kids excited about stories and reading. But, of course, that person is demonized as a child predator. So, like, that kind of parallel metaphor is what I was going for.
Okay.
And I think there's still a way to do that. If it's, like, as the bloofer lady, she gets a kid out of a bad situation with an adult, and that adult comes to find the kid, and she kills him, and then, like you said, they're covered in blood, and everyone assumes she's a child predator.
Yeah, because she's the bad guy. She can't have been helping the kid.
Exactly.
Now, are we thinking this is in terms of, like, a rescue? Is the child being kidnapped? Is she protecting him from an abusive adult figure?
I don't think she's... Now that I'm thinking about it more, I don't know if she's removed the child from his or her situation. I think she gave a warning to a parent, and then things got worse and the child came to her and the parent followed. The father followed.
Okay.
And then she kills the father to protect herself and the child.
Is the child specifically a little girl?
See... What I think is the issue is that it's a boy who likes to wear dresses, and the dad is not okay with that. Or something along those lines. So I am specifically keeping the child ungendered.
The thing is...
I think that's a little on the nose.
Well, also, the thing is, at that time, to a certain time frame, boys would wear dresses.
True.
Because it was cheaper.
I think it's actually stronger if it's a girl, then. Because... So, again, so much of this hate is we have to protect our little girls.
We have to protect our little girls, and also I think it would be a really strong choice if we can find a child actress that looks like our Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop the old Lucy from corrupting the new one.
Yeah.
So there has been a confrontation between Lucy and a parent and child. The three suitors who are the heroes and Van Helsing stumble upon her, make the wrong conclusion, come to the wrong conclusion, and kill her. And then pretty violently desecrate her corpse as well.
Yeah, fill the mouth with garlic, decapitate the head, stake through the heart. I want to see the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And, do we want to do that right up front?
I think we...
Because that almost sets up, we're going to find out what this monster did to deserve this kind of punishment. And the tragedy is that the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that yet.
Okay.
Because I kind of want her to do something to deserve it, but also the irony being that that's not what it's for.
I think she's definitely committed monstrous acts prior to this. Maybe this is the first...
actual monstrous acts, not Oscar Wilde monstrous acts.
Yeah, no, she's definitely eaten or drank the blood of and destroyed prominent men in the community.
Yes.
If I can just rip something else off from the bride.
Yes, I definitely think that. She has definitely done violence, and I think she's also been extremely selfish.
I don't think her violence is to prominent men, specifically, but more just that, to the uninformed observer, man, murders and crimes have gone way up in this neighborhood for some reason.
Yeah.
And it seems like completely indiscriminate. Everybody in this part of town is just waking up dead.
Yeah.
Because again, at this point, she's kind of removed from societal norms. She doesn't give a shit if you're rich or poor or whatever reason she decides, all right, well, I've got vampire strength now and you've pissed me off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's specifically lower class communities she targets in the novel, but we can make that just completely indiscriminate.
And I think even the word targets is something that I want us to kind of nudge away from. She doesn't target. She just kind of acts on impulse.
She's essentially an animal. If the opportunity presents itself, she's gonna hunt.
Yeah.
Like that guy Adam in the Frankenstein book, before he commits the gross and unforgivable sin of learning French.
I'm also thinking of a novel which I know that neither of you have read. Is called... that came off as really aggressive, and I didn't intend it to. I just meant more it's not on your radar. It's called Fledgling.
Oh, I fucking love that book.
I'm gonna hit you.
Okay.
It's called...
I mean, I've already established that I can't read.
It's called Fledgling by Octavia Butler, and it's basically a vampire story, and it opens with the fledgling vampire who has been badly injured attacking and killing what we later find out is another member of her community, but it's because she is in such a reduced animalistic state, she cannot tell what is what, to the point that she doesn't even recognize that it's anything but alive, and she fully just consumes this other person. So I'm thinking that level of I don't know what I'm doing, there's no one to teach me, I'm just fucking satisfying my urges.
Like Spooky Witch Daughter's dad in The Protector. Spoilers for The Protector. But go back and listen to our werewolves episode. That one was really good. And be sure to like and subscribe. Ko-fi.com/soonmajorpod.
So I think where it's not connecting for me right now is if she is as the Bloofer lady, just so animalistic that she doesn't know who she's killing, she's just, feeding indiscriminately. I don't know how we can build a plot around her not remembering her past and keeping her the main character and having that be the whole film.
I think it's more spectrum. Maybe the first kill that we see her make, the first time we see her feed, is completely there's a person eat. And then the next time it's less and less and less.
Or after she eats, she's more lucid for a while, and then, I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
Okay.
To rip off another or to reference another movie that I'm sure Mark has never seen, Terminator, with the new-ish one, with the girl.
I know I've seen it. I don't remember shit.
The lady robot that gets sent, the lady human who's been cybernetically modified gets sent back to protect her, and she needs certain medications to keep her, like, basically her extra body parts functioning.
I'm sorry, dude.
All right.
I got nothing on that.
What if, I really like how you kind of framed it of after she feeds, she becomes more lucid, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But I really want to keep her at least a little bit queer. So I think if we make another change that her feeding isn't tied to consuming blood, but like making out, and it's like a psychic vampire thing. And some guys are super not cool with this strange bloofer lady making out with my bird. Oi, mate, what you doing? And then she kills them.
I think, yes. What I'm thinking is her first victim is a dude, and she straight up just kills him. Like, she essentially causes him to have an aneurysm, and he dies. And I think, eventually, maybe victim number 3 is a woman. And that's the first time that she's, like, satisfied, and she doesn't understand why.
So, filmatically, I'm just trying to think of, like, structure, how this is going to look on screen and stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to start with her double corpsing, her death again.
Yeah, we start with death at the hands of the suitors, and I think it could be a fun... What I see visually is death at the hands of the suitors, and then it's like, we see her corpse, and then kind of like, the light changes, and it's just her doing that dramatic, cinematic, and she's rising in the mausoleum. And that's the start of the story, and then we realize it's a cycle at the end, if that makes sense.
I'm sorry, it doesn't. What's a cycle?
Because what I was thinking was have her, like, decapitation, and then whatever, like, 3 months earlier, or whatever it is, like, do that. And she wakes up in bed next to, like, a brutally murdered man. And she doesn't remember that part either, because that's the animalistic side.
Okay.
And, like, she's like, I don't know what happened, or who this man is, or how he died. I don't know where I am. She stumbles out in the street. It's maybe, like, 1 a.m. And she goes back home, like, where she remembers, like, where she thinks home is, but there are strange people there that can't be her home, but it's the suitors, like, trying to discuss what to do about Dracula. You know, it's those guys and Mina and Van Helsing and all that.
Yeah.
So she senses danger, doesn't go in. And then that could be a rule of threes thing. Like, the second time she wakes up, same thing, it's 1 a.m, she's in a different bed next to a different corpse. But the third time, she wakes up, and there's not a corpse next to her, but there's a woman, like, frying an egg.
Just backing up a bit, because I'm trying to keep our threads corded together. I thought we were going linearly after the jump back. So, with that in mind, my thinking is...
So, literally all the way back to the Jane Austen sequence?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, that's fine.
That's the way I thought you guys were still thinking. So, after we get that brutal decapitation and, like, you know, shot of, like, her body on a slab, like you had said, but instead of her waking up next to waking up as still the bloofer lady next to a dead man, she wakes up in a bed... I think this is from the book. I wouldn't know because I can't read. She wakes up in one of 2 twin beds in, like, a room that she's sharing with Mina, her best friend, for completely heterosexual reasons. And she maybe briefly comments about, I had the strangest dream, but I'm so excited because today I have dates with my 3 guys, and I think they're gonna propose.
Okay.
So then Act 1 would be her getting married, getting Dracula, wasting away and dying. Act 2 is her adventures as the bloofer lady. Act 3 is their pursuit of her, and end where we began.
If I recall correctly, she doesn't even actually get married.
She does not.
She dies too fast.
Yeah.
Like, she accepts the proposal, and then wastes away, which I think is a really strong metaphor if she chooses one of the dudes and then Dracula starts draining her soul.
I thought she did get married to him, but it was like a rushed quickie thing in the hospital bed.
Yeah.
And I think regardless of what the original book says, I think that's what we do.
I'm okay with that.
Because I think it makes it stronger.
Yeah.
If her actual husband is one of the ones that kills her, instead of just her betrothed.
Yeah. I also think it should be pretty clear that by the time they do get married, she's not in any situation where she's legally consenting to this.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely something that is being done to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, okay, I like that. So we have our prologue, which is the end. Act 1 is Jane Austen to death.
Speed run.
Act 2 is Blue for Lady Adventures. And that's where I think we can do, like, the waking up next to a corpse. Like, after her death, the next shot is her waking up next to a man, like a dead man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Act 2 is where we get into the Blue for Lady Adventures. And then I think towards the end of that act is where she has to make a decision to... Because I still want to do that thing with the kid, if you guys are down with that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
She does something, like, she stops a guy from hitting her kid, or whatever, like, on her way back to the mausoleum at night, where she's crashing because she can't go home. Or, sorry, a mausoleum during the day, where she's crashing because she can't go home. And, the kid follows her back, so that the next night when she wakes up, the child is there. And then they step outside, and the father's outside, and have that moment of confrontation that ends with his death and blood on both of them. What?
I'm not quite there with the kid thing yet.
It's just
but it's a good thing that's like the kickoff to Act 3. I've got time to gum it out. Because I think we can gum something really good. I just need time. So let's work our way up to that. Things like, who is this kid? Why does she give a shit? Why is the kid in danger? Those are the pieces that I want to figure out. And I'm sure I will if we just give it time and work our way through it. So let's start. Now that we've got our 3 acts more or less lined up, let's jump back to the Jane Austen, which is a reference I don't get because I don't know who that is.
So she's a thing called a writer. Writing is when you use a pen or other instrument to put symbols on paper that are...
Was Jane Austen one of the Brontes?
Yes.
Okay.
Cody, you look dumb.
She's the one that wrote Little Women.
And Little House on the Prairie.
That was the book that ended slavery.
Mm-hmm. At its famous reading in Uncle Tom's Cabin.
That's why they called it that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lucy, alive and well, wakes up in the room that she shares with her best friend, Mina Murray, who's only there while her beloved betrothed is out of town on business.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mina's waiting for a letter from Jonathan, because the last letter has been, like, a long time ago, and she's, like, worried, but trying to hide it. And then, I think this day needs to be very typical. It's like, wake up, do the tea shit, go to lunch with one of the beaux, and then have supervised visiting time with another one. And then wrap it up with girl chat with Mina, who is now slightly more worried. Because I think the second day needs to be... And I think we need to show that Lucy is kind of, like, bored. Like, polite, but bored. Because I think the second day, we get the letter from Jonathan that terrifies Mina, where she's like, I need to go to Budapest and help him. So now she's alone. And I think we also need to decide if these dudes are predatory or just, like, especially predatory, or if they're just normal dudes.
Well, she's from a wealthy family. So I think all the men will have some sort of ulterior motive.
I think I disagree. Especially Lord Boring Man.
He loves her
like
for
the,
real.
The wealthy heir. See, I was going to ask, is she his beard? And that's part of why she chooses him.
I think she is, and neither of them recognize it.
I like that. Yeah.
Like, I think they have a very lively friendship, in that way that, like, banter passes for like, sexual tension, but seeing him interact with other men, like, maybe he has a valet, and it's kind of that, like, oh, that's where the charisma and the charm is.
And we'll see that a lot when the gang gets together to hunt her down.
Yes.
But no, I like that. I like that read.
I'm getting like a, God, what's his name? Harrison Ford. I'm getting a Harrison Ford's fictional characters vibe from the Texan guy, Quincy Morris.
Yeah.
Like he's a Han Solo smashed with Indiana Jones, a whip-cracking, face-punching adventure haver.
Yeah. He's America Man. He wants to marry her because every country he goes to and adventures in, he marries a beau or whatever.
He gets a new fiance.
He wants his green card. And I think the psychiatrist, I feel like his deal is he wants to publish his research, but he needs funding. So he's trying to marry into funding. He strikes me as a in love with his work kind of guy.
I think the other thing that we need to remember is that Lucy is in the text incredibly beautiful.
She's also 19. So
yeah, she's like basically
naive.
An old maid.
We went different ways with that one.
I'm pretty sure Mina's fucking 17. Like...
For the sake of a comparison that won't matter to a lot of people, at 19, Lucy Westenra is 2 years older than Mercedes in The Count of Monte Cristo.
Ah.
Yes.
So just, and again, this is the past times where ages, in terms of maturity, was different than it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 36 and still a little baby, with no ideas or concept of things.
Because our generation wasn't allowed to become adults by the metrics of previous generations.
If I cover my camera, I disappear. So I think it's definitely for our American guy, it's definitely this is a prize to be won. He gives me the vibes of the American suitor in Porco Rosso.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he definitely wants to marry her, not for, like, selfish reasons, but also he doesn't really have a solid grasp on things like long-range planning.
Yeah. He sees a shiny and he wants the shiny.
She's another conquest.
Yes.
I think he's a very underpants gnomes type guy. Like, take action, ? Profit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe she's a little bit intimidated by that, in specifically in terms of having her be a queer-coded character.
Yeah, like, her normal ways of dissuading are not working. He's not picking up on the social cues she's putting down.
She's saying no, and he's hearing try harder. America.
Yeah, like, I think it should be clear that, like, she's whittled down the suitors. Like, there used to be 10 or 15 of them, and she's managed to whittle them down to these 3.
And I think there's some part of her that likes each of these 3.
Yeah.
She says that.
But, like, not that way.
She says something along those lines of, I wish I could marry all of them so they couldn't be sad. Like, she likes them enough that she wants their happiness.
Quincy Morris is a fucking blast. I want to hang out with him all the fucking time.
Like, I imagine their date in this first act is, like, they go horseback riding or something. And he's doing jumps and tricks and shit. Backflips on the horse.
He is a cowboy.
And rope and gun tricks.
Yeah. Real ranch shit. But not actual ranch shit. All hat and no cattle ranch shit.
See, again, looking at the Wikipedia, they described him as an adventurer.
Yeah.
He's always down for the next adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a weird set of skills because of it.
Yeah.
Dr. Seward, comparatively, I think he's, like, smart.
I think, he stimulates her intellectually.
He's definitely... He's the one she would go to if she actually had a problem she needed figured out.
Mm-hmm.
I used to know somebody who described an ex that way, as saying, like, he's the smartest guy I ever knew. If I had a problem, I would have to ask him.
Yeah.
Not me, by the way. To be clear, I am not talking about myself.
I was actually going to say, I feel like that's something one of your exes would have said to you, but...
Yeah.
A, I'm talking about a person I used to work with at a camp. B, you don't fucking tell them that! That's the worst thing to tell them!
Yeah, but we've seen your exes, Mark.
Yeah, it's true. So Quincy is like legitimately just a blast to be around, fun adventure guy. Dr. Seward, he's calm-headed and smart and good to ask for advice. Arthur Homewood,
He's the person that she can spend 8 hours with doing nothing and not feel like time has gone by.
They parallel play.
Yeah, they're like
yes.
they're like, for lack of a better term, best friends. Like, but not the same as like her and Mina, like but you know, like they just get along super well, that they like being around each other's company, I think. And I think it's because he's also like an heir to like a lord, so they probably have a lot in common.
I think it should feel like her relationship with Mina, and that should be the subtle hint to the audience.
Good point. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I think through this first act, we see the 3 dates. So obviously, Quincy's going to be horseback riding.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun if her date with Seward was a flirty, like, psychoanalysis read of her. Which is also insidious in its own way, but we don't play it off that way.
That's a little gross.
I know.
I was going to instead propose something like chess.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
And I think she distracts him to beat him.
No. No, she loses. She gets her ass whooped by this man. He distracts her with conversation.
Ah.
She tries to distract him, giving him the pouty face and
just undoing one lace right at her Adam's apple to reveal a little bit of neck.
Oh no, my skirt's riding up and you can almost see a 1/4 inch of my ankle.
Oh, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? Yeah, but he doesn't fall for it, because he's the intellectual. He's into the game.
Yeah.
And then I think with Arthur, they just have dinner that goes way late into the night as they sit and chat and drink wine, and the chaperones are falling asleep in the couch.
Yes. I was even going to suggest something like a, you know how the Brits would have dinner at the club? That was like a thing. Like, they belong to the same club and they have dinner together, so they're in public. So it's like, you don't necessarily need chaperones if you're in public.
Yeah, but like they get to close and it's just them and the servers left.
Yeah.
They get kicked out, walk home. He walks her home.
Yeah.
And there's an awkward moment where you expect them to lean in for a kiss, and they're just like, well, see ya! Because they're both gay.
No, they do lean in for a kiss. But then they both do, like, the cheek thing.
So they just kind of end up tapping cheeks.
Yeah. Gives her a body shake.
Shush. I think that it should be very reminiscent to how she says goodbye to Mina earlier in the day. Is like they do the thing where they, like, tap cheeks.
Because Mina has to fuck off to Budapest.
Next day.
That's the next day?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah. Game of chess with lunch with Seward. Horseback riding in the afternoon. Dinner way late into the night with Arthur.
Yeah.
Next day, Mina gets the letter, gots to fuck off to Budapest. Because this is a Dracula movie, after all.
Yeah.
And now Lucy's left alone. And I think here's where we need to have a scene where she's confiding her feelings in either a member of staff or a parent. And I feel like it would be a member of staff.
Well, her mom is pretty important, because her mom is the one who ends up sharing the room with her, and ultimately ends up getting her killed.
Oh, the window thing?
Yeah, her mom is an idiot.
Okay.
I think this confessing her feelings, I think that's to Mina in a letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just get like a little bit of, her writing, voiceover, explaining these feelings.
And that's where she can explain, like, I enjoy my time with all 3 of them. If I could say yes to all 3, I would.
We could probably pull directly from the actual text for that.
Yeah.
At least part of this letter.
Exactly, yeah. Which I don't have the actual text within reach, so fuck it. So that night, her mother stays with her?
Yeah. And I think her mom is the one who has the window open.
Yeah. I think the end of the scene with her mother coming in doesn't need to be an important scene, but it ends with a lingering shot of her opening the window. Yeah. And the camera, like, slow zooming into the window as, like, an ominous thing.
And I mean, I know it's England, so it's already overcast, but it's, like, ominously overcast.
Mm-hmm. There's a cold breeze.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. Next day, I think, is when everyone shows up all at once to propose.
Yes.
And I think we just play that straight. Does she take time to think about it, or do we have her give an answer immediately?
I think we give her, like, a week to think about it. And we don't have to portray that whole week, but I think we need... The next time we see her, when she agrees to marry Homewood, she needs to be visibly, different.
Yeah, because it's a week of getting sucked off by Dracula every night.
Phrasing?
No. I think we need to kind of condense that and speed it up a bit.
Yeah, we don't see the whole week, but...
So, when the three guys come...
Phrasing.
I hit save to favorites. But in this movie, when the three gentlemen arrive at her doorstep, I think they make her pick then and there.
Okay.
I think Quincy makes it a thing. Because I think the point of Quincy is that he kind of flouts social convention, and it also shows that he demands brash action and chooses first. Shoots first, asks questions later.
I think he makes it a bet, because I know you limeys love gambling. So what do you say we put some skin in this game? And we may not have to hear that until after she picks.
Maybe we see that before, Mother goes to get her, and while they're in the drawing room waiting, we see that happen before she arrives.
And then after she picks, they each hand some money to Homewood.
Yeah.
Yes. And they pass it off as a gift.
Yeah, a congratulatory gift. She never needs to find out that she is being gambled upon in such a way. Because that also emphasizes the theme of men treat women like shit.
It's not her being gambled upon, it's them.
She's just the winnings. She's incidental.
She's the judge.
But she's the judge, but also the prize.
Yeah. She's still an unwitting
I mean, the prize, by definition, is the money.
She's still an unwitting participant in a gentleman's wager. Which just further objectifies her. You know what I mean? It's subtle. It's a microaggression. A micro-objectification.
So, after she picks Homewood, the other two leave. And I want to get a really quick scene of the ship pulling into port, big dog jumping off it, and prowling off into the, foggy streets as somebody gets on the boat and goes like, oh my god, they're all dead.
I think this happens the night before. You were going to say, Bill?
I was just going to say, that scene is one of those, little inserts that you see in movies sometimes. Because that is the B plot, is that it's Dracula, but it's just an insert shot of the ship arriving and somebody gets on board and you hear, oh god, they're all dead, and the dog runs off, and then, next morning she's waking up. And I'm okay with it being after... Because, even though, he doesn't have to start feeding on her the first night the window's open,
Oh, no. I'm just thinking, I kind of want his presence to already be fucking with stuff. And I kind of like the idea that his presence is what, simultaneously emboldens and, fucks with the suitors who they're suddenly yes, it is time for you to pick now. I kind of like the idea that he is influencing events by his very presence.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. We just put that.
I mean, we went through an entire 6 months of filming this dating reality show where she went from 100 guys down to 3, handing out roses and shit.
Like The Bachelor meets the 100.
Yes, exactly. That is the reference I was trying to make.
Okay.
We've watched the entire fucking season, and Quincy's got places to be and people to punch.
So I think the next sequence after she picks is her deterioration alongside with wedding planning. I don't think that's a part of the novel, but why the fuck not? It's our A-plot, or not A-plot, but...
Yeah, I think it should be clear that this is the end for the guys. They don't give a shit anymore, but now, the work starts for her.
Mm-hmm. So her, and we do this all in montage, and her days are picking flowers, cake tastings, the traditional wedding planning shit, but also... Are we going to see Dracula in the evenings at night while he's feasting on her? While he's drinking her blood? Do we see him at all? Because I don't hate the idea of seeing him and whispering in her ear to, lies to fuck with her head. You know what I mean?
See, I kind of we've already established that we see him as a wolf or a big dog, and I kind of like keeping that rolling. So maybe we don't ever see him in human form, but we see, a bat and a cat at the window.
Mm-hmm. Just the presence. You know what? I kind of like that we never see him in human form in this whole film. He's just a presence. Maybe a voice occasionally.
Maybe one One we see where like she has the little bite, and in the background a bat flying out the window, but we never see him in human form.
One morning, like, her mom wakes up and looks over, and there's a cat, like, curled up on the head of her bed, like, on her pillow. And when she goes to check on Lucy, the cat runs out the window. Stuff like that.
Yes.
And I think what breaks the montage is when Lucy is fully bedridden, and Homewood, the Dr. Seward, and Van Helsing are there. And that's like what breaks the montage is Seward or somebody introducing Lucy. This is a doctor. He's going to try and help you get better.
What breaks the montage is her collapsing at an event. And then the next scene is her in bed, and exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
I think we need to see her like physically collapse.
I also I don't know which direction I want to do this, and this is costuming. She either needs to start in white and get progressively grayer, or start in gray and get progressively whiter, so that she's committing all of her violent acts in white.
Gray to white.
Okay.
Because she's also getting more pale.
Yeah.
Not even gray to white, like full colors, vibrant colors, and the colors get more pale until she's only in white.
More and more muted until eventually it becomes white.
Yeah, because starting her in gray feels weird.
Less and less saturated until at the end she's all in white. Now we've all said the same thing 3 different ways.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement.
What's a cycle?
It's a man-powered motor vehicle that has a metal frame, 2 wheels, and a set of pedals connected to a chain, which is...
It's how you make your washing machine go. Okay, so this is a doctor. He's going to help us figure out why you've been feeling so sick. And we get this funny, Dutch guy from der Nederlands.
Swamp Germany. I think he does the whole runs the symptoms. This can only be one of 2 things: a common cold or a vampire. Not quite that jokey, obviously.
Well, so one thing about the original, you know how like every new thing is huge and popular and is going to change the world and make everything great?
Mm-hmm.
In those and everything has to have it. Like how a couple of years ago that was the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything has to have the blockchain. You put blockchain in the name of your business and you're going to make $1 million. At the time that this book came out, that thing was blood transfusions.
Yeah.
And in the book, there's like a weird amount of blood transfusions. And it's entirely because like that was the hot new shit. But the first thing he says is clearly you are anemic, you need a blood transfusion. And it just so happens that all 4 of us, blood types aren't a thing. We can all just do it. That's fine.
We'll share blood.
Because it was so much the hot new shit that wasn't even fully figured out yet.
Yeah.
But he tells her, like, listen, we need to give you a transfusion, and everything's gonna be fine. Hey, Seward, can I talk to you over here for a second? Everything is not fine. Have you ever heard of Das Vampir?
I want in this scene for her at some point to try to reject a blood transfusion. Maybe it's not the first time, maybe it's the second or third time she says no outright to it. It's not going to help. What about this? And they go, no. Blood transfusion, and they do it anyway. I think is an important thing to have happen.
Yeah. I also think because in the novel, she never knows anything about the vampire, because they make sure not to even mention the word in the room with her. I think that, we should see what's-his-face we should see Van Helsing pull Seward aside and them have a serious conversation, but it should just, like, as the audience, we know what they're talking about, but as Lucy, she's like, whatever, I'm too fucking tired to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
I hate needles and blood stuff. Even when I'm, like, at the medical doctor's, I have to, like, be on my phone looking in the opposite direction because I can't stand seeing that shit. So I think it's really great if he says we're going to do a transfusion, Seward, you oversee the procedure, and then we follow the other 2 out of the room, because I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So this progresses. Maybe it's during the 3rd transfusion that she says no to, but she's like too weak to fight back. That's when the wedding happens. a priest comes in and she thinks she's about to die, and he's like, no. We gotta get married.
Yeah. And then the marriage happens, and I think, like, because an important point is the garlic flowers. I think that those are, like, the garlands on the bedspread. And then I think, like, the next day, she's sitting up, she's feeling better, she's got, like, color, she's talking, and she and her mom have a conversation, and she's like, I can't stand these garlic flowers. Like, I feel so much better, and these are just messing with me. Please get rid of them. And her mom was like, but Dr. Van Helsing said not to. And maybe this is the first time she's, like, shown some spunk and fight. And her mom was like, you know what? Since you're in such a good mood, I'll do it for you. And then immediately after that is the days where she just descends into death.
Yeah. Like, that night is when he finishes the job.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I don't want it to be Lucy getting rid of the flowers and opening the window.
No, her mom is doing it.
I want it to be her dumbass mom.
Yeah, no, her mom is doing it, but Lucy is the one arguing for it. Because she's starting to make...
And I'm saying I don't want it to be Lucy's idea.
Oh, I was thinking it is her idea because she's starting to feel the vampire effects, and she's uncomfortable. She doesn't know why, but it's uncomfortable. And we as the audience think it's because, it's because of the marriage. She doesn't want to be reminded that she's married now. But it's the vampire.
And I was thinking, if it's her mother... Like she's starting to feel better, it's starting to work, and her mother just doesn't care what she wants. It's too stuffy in here, and these flowers are starting to wilt anyway. I'm just going to throw all this shit out when you're not paying attention.
I agree with Mark on that one.
Okay.
Just her being like, we don't need these anymore. Look how lively you are. There's color in your face. It's so stuffy in here. Let's get this window open. We don't need these anymore. Toss them out the window. Oh, come in, Blackbird, standing on the... Come on in, you are invited in, bird on the outside.
You know, our welcome mat is a little bit dusty. I'm just going to put it right here on the windowsill to air out.
Our nice, please come in, all our welcome mat.
Then, immediately, the next day, she's right back to where she was.
Yeah.
I think the next day she's dead.
She's not dead. She is just barely clinging to life because I want the gang to show up and, like, Van Helsing to kind of lose his shit. What happened to all of the stuff that I put here? Where the fuck did it go? Somebody start doing the transfusion now. And it doesn't work. And that's when she dies, as they are trying to save her. Which is a little bit more... oomph than just they show up and she's already dead.
Yeah, that's good. And then we get, like, a brief scene to music of them laying her body to rest in a mausoleum. And then hard cut to her waking up next to a corpse. Because this movie ain't over yet.
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
And now a brief pause as we look at the time code on the podcast.
Hang on, I have an idea. We don't see the mausoleum bit. We see her laying in her bed, and them all mourning, and then it switches, and the bed looks the same, but she wakes up, and there's a corpse next to her. And we realize it's a different bed.
Like, the bottom half of her face is covered in blood.
Yeah.
She's half naked, he's all naked.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened.
A jump cut.
Yeah, hard jump cut.
Like, maybe we see, like, the lights dimming in the sense of, like, evening is coming on, and then that's how it's like light is fading on her corpse, and then, boom, wake up bloody.
Yeah. So she stumbles out of wherever she is. This is clearly a different part of town. Like, an actual, like, city part of the city, and not, like, what would it be, the suburbs, country, wherever she lives?
She's in Ripper Lane.
Yeah, she comes out, fucking Jack the Ripper's in the other corner. Ignoring her. Running away from her. He's the corpse in bed. Anyway, she stumbles out into, like, this alley. There's maybe some women of the night around, some drunks in the street. Like, the street's crowded, but seedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is where she doesn't remember who she is. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know where she needs to be. Maybe she asks some people for help. They can't give her help. And this is where we start making stuff up. This is where we get original. This is where we divert from the
Yeah,
novel.
I think I like the idea of her accidentally ending up meandering home. And we have no idea how long it's been, but I think Mina should be back at this point with Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all, like, maybe it would be a little much for her to be getting the news that Lucy is dead as she's getting there. But I think we see, like, Lucy is stumbling towards what used to be her old home, and Mina is there, and Mina is like the men are in the downstairs, and Mina is sitting in the window, like, quietly crying.
Mm-hmm. Like, in her window.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is still open.
Yes.
Important. No, I like that. And she doesn't recognize, like, that she knows these people. She thinks she knows she belongs there, but she must be wrong because she doesn't know these people. They're all clearly mourning something. This doesn't feel like home to me.
Yeah.
And then she just wanders, and as the sun's coming up, she's feeling tired, and she just happens to be at the mausoleum, and she climbs in because it's dark and goes to sleep.
Yeah. Now, how Carmilla do we want to get with this?
Well, let's stick with Dracula here.
Okay.
That is not a reference I get.
Different vampire story.
Yes.
Oh.
So are we doing the same thing again? A hard cut to her waking up next to a dead man?
Yeah. And I think this night she goes to a tavern or something. Because
Yeah.
we need to have some dialogue here where she talks with a tavern owner or something.
Yeah. I think this time when she wakes up, she's like, I feel gross, but I don't understand why. And maybe she, like, wipes her face. Because she needs to be, like, mostly presentable. Like, she can have some like, slime or filth on her dress, but I think her face needs to be clean, at least. Yeah. And I think this is also how we demonstrate she's more lucid. She's like, okay, that feels better, that my face is clean. Now let's go. Like, I feel strange. I think I need something. And that's when she goes to a tavern, because she's like, maybe they will know what I need.
Is anybody entranced by her?
I think everyone is a little bit, because again, she's super beautiful, even if she's dirty. And people like that don't spend a lot of time in this part of town.
Yeah.
Kind of jumping forward a bit, the whole legend of the blue fur lady that, in this shitty part of town, there's this indescribably beautiful woman who goes walking around after midnight.
Yeah.
And she'd have to have some kind of effect to, like, get a rumor spreading around town about her,
Yeah.
Like
maybe she comes in, maybe she doesn't clean herself off.
Okay.
But she comes into the tavern, but because, like, she has an otherworldly charisma about her. The barkeep is like, oh, sweetheart, you look like you've had trouble tonight. Here's a wet rag, wipe yourself off. My daughter's got some clothes about your size, gets her some clean clothes, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe he asks her, or she asks her her name, and she doesn't know.
Like, oh, have you been in some sort of accident? You look a mess. What's your name? Oh, you don't remember? What do you remember? And that's the kind of scene we get. Yeah, where she describes what she remembers.
Somebody earlier calls her beautiful, and then she just takes that as, I guess that's my name.
A drunk man in the street slurs out the word beautiful, and it comes out bloofer.
Yeah. We can also, since this is specifically England, we can also play with accents here.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the bloofer comes from mispronouncing the word beautiful.
Yeah. And I think it specifically comes from a dying child.
Yes.
I hate the English so much for what they've done to our beautiful language.
Mm-hmm. I speak the Lord's English. That's American English. Just like I speak the Lord's Spanish, and that's Mexican Spanish. Ain't no Vosotros up in this bitch.
I speak the Lord's Quebecois.
So yeah, maybe she just says her name is Bloofer, and the barkeep is like, oh, I don't know the Bloofer family. Like one of those things. Not from this part of town.
I like the idea, since we've been playing with the rule of threes, that she leaves the tavern to go home, and she leaves the tavern in the company of someone who's taking her to the hospital, and when she wakes up in the mausoleum, their corpse is next to her. So it's a little bit tweaked on the third day, where she's now been feeding consistently, and she wakes up and she's like, okay, I remember last night, kind of. I remember this person. What the fuck?
I think we need some development here, then.
Okay.
Like, what is she doing in nights
When do we start seeing her make out with ladies?
Yeah.
I think that's this night. This night is when she wakes up visibly,
rule of threes. The first night she wakes up, and then she goes to the tavern, gets cleaned up, gets a clean set of clothes, then tries to find her home, winds up in the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Or, no, doesn't try to find her home. They set her up to go to the hospital. Second night she wakes up in the mausoleum with the guy who was sent to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
So maybe she tries to,
I think that I like where you're going with that. I think she goes to... This is the night where she stumbles to her home, and that distresses her, because she's like, this should be right. Why isn't this right? And that's when we get our second victim. It's somebody who catcalls her. And she's
the second victim's the hospital person.
Oh, I thought the first was going to be the tavern.
No, the first night she wakes up with a strange man right after she dies.
Okay.
Goes to the tavern, does that scene. They send her off to the hospital, like right before daybreak.
So second night is the...
Second night she wakes up in the mausoleum with that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck. So she tries to go home. She finds maybe it just so happens to be she's near that home.
Yeah.
Goes through that. This isn't right. This looks right, feels right, but it's not right. And then also she's probably like, did I kill that person? I gotta get out of town. And I think maybe that night she goes to a train station.
Yeah.
And that's where she meets a woman.
Yeah.
And then jump cut to the next night she wakes up. And the woman's like frying an egg. Like, you slept all day.
Yeah. Or, okay, to keep with the consistency, I think the woman is asleep beside her, and it's a shock when the woman wakes up.
We can do that too.
She's like, oh, you slept all day. You must be hungry. Let me feed you. And this is the first time she leaves the person alive, and she leaves alive. And she's like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And
I think there's some dialogue in there too about like, oh, you were an animal last night. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Men just don't know how to make a woman feel that way. Something like that. But with like Victorian language and more innuendo and nuance about it.
Yeah. And then I think it's like, she's like, well, I have to go to work, if you know what I mean, wink. And that's how they like separate for the evening. And that's when
maybe we even saw this woman on that first night on the street corner.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything then, but it's the same actress.
In addition to retconning that she saw this woman on the first night, I think there's a gang of street urchin kids.
Okay.
Because I want to start seeding that too.
No, that's a good idea.
And maybe like the kids are less entranced by her than everybody else.
Because they haven't hit puberty yet?
Because they're the ones who start like telling people about the bloofer lady who shows up after midnight.
I think, again, cribbing from Bride, I think this is where we have a club scene in the sense of, like, she goes and does something fun just because she wants to. Because she's testing her boundaries. Because she knows, like, it doesn't feel right that she has no boundaries. She wants to do this thing. Why does she feel like she can't do this thing? And then she goes to do it, but I don't know what it is.
She goes to a pub and plays darts with the guys.
Okay.
She just has a night out at the pub.
Yeah.
And I had a thought. I'm going to throw it out there. When we get close to daybreak, she's getting tired, ready to go to bed. She goes to find her new friend, but she's been Jack the Rippered.
Not necessarily rippered, but maybe attacked.
Yeah.
Like, one of her clients beat her up.
A client stabbed her, and she dies in her arms and gets blamed for it.
Yeah.
Like, someone sees it and
yeah,
blows a police whistle.
One of the kids.
One of the kids, yeah.
And that becomes folded into the legend of the bloofer lady. This beautiful woman who shows up after midnights, and now she also murders people.
And I think from here, this is where we go back to Mina and the gang of suitors. Yeah. Penelope and the suitors back in Ithaca. They open a newspaper to a crude sketch of the bloofer lady. And Mina's like, oh, this looks a lot like Lucy. And Van Helsing is like, she's a vampire! Let's get her, you know? And start that train a-rolling.
I also think that even though this is, to go back to Lucy, I think she does consume whatever is left of the woman.
Ooh, yeah. After, like, she's passed,
yeah,
she gives her one last kiss and then starts slurping the blood from the wound. Yeah. Because it, like, triggers something. And that's the first time the audience really sees what happens when it's time to eat.
Yeah. It's a little Jennifer's body.
Yeah, so when the kids turn the corner and they see this beautiful lady slurping blood out of a hole in a dead hooker.
Yeah. Phrasing?
I said what I said.
Yeah.
And then that leads to the sensationalism of the Bloofer lady in a newspaper. Newspapers are around, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's clippings in the fucking novel.
Yes.
And yeah, like I said before, we see the suitors in the gang all reading that. They realize it's her. She's a vampire. Gotta go get her. Where did we bury her again?
Yeah.
Cut back to her at the mausoleum crying.
Yeah. And I think she's not at the same mausoleum. Or is she? She is.
I think she is.
Yeah.
A thought that just occurred to me is, what if Homewood has been leaving flowers at the door in the daytime every day? And I don't think that this impacts much.
I think we can use that. He has been. And during the day, one day he's leaving flowers while they're looking for her. And one of the street urchin kids, I wouldn't go near there. That's where the Bloofer lady lives. I seen her go in there this morning, right before sunup. She's in there right now, sleeping,
Yeah.
Kids spreading rumors, and he realizes, oh shit, she can't be in there. Or, of course she's in there. Where else would she be? Where we left her.
And I think another thing that we can do with makeup is she looks better now, color-wise, than she did while she was alive, even at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
She's more vivid.
She looks more full of life.
Yes.
Macking on pretty girls will do that to you.
Alright, so the kid gives up her hiding spot.
Yep.
But Homewood goes back to the gang to report this instead of investigating.
Yeah. Yes.
So they can be prepared, because he, at this point, knows she's probably a vampire, and he's not capable of confronting that alone at this time.
I think he doesn't believe any of this vampire horse shit. And it's not until, in general, they don't... Dr. Van Helsing is a fucking kook. And most of the time in the book, he is a comic character. Except for the moments where he serious is up.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to being, I did not understand what this man said. He kept saying blooming and of blood. I do not know what means. So, he has to almost drag the guys. And it's not until they see her in vampire form that they realize, oh shit, this crazy foreigner has been telling the truth this entire time.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we get this final confrontation?
And the first time they encounter her, they fuck off because they didn't bring anything, because they didn't believe Van Helsing this whole time.
What if the first time they go, it is dusk, and she starts waking up, and we see her at full animal form?
Yeah,
all just pure
lost
hunger,
in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
Yeah. What if she almost goes after Mina, but something stops her? It's you know when there's that transformation sequence in a lot of movies where it's you don't want to eat me, you don't want to eat me, and it's super animal form, and then it's humanity clicks back into place. I think there should be a moment like that with Mina, where she sees Mina and the suitors, and she's drawn to Mina and almost wants to go after her, but then she's no. I can't go after her. I don't know why, but I can't.
She goes for it, but it's sensual in the way she moves towards Mina. And Van Helsing pulls her out of the way.
Van Helsing stops.
Yeah.
Holds up, imposes himself between them with a crucifix.
Yeah.
Which pushes Lucy back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's doing that, the other three guys get Mina the fuck out of here. We are not equipped to fight a vampire right now.
So they go back to prepare for the evening, and their plan is to get her the next day, during the day. They're going to go in at dawn and stake her. And we get one last night out on the town with her.
I don't think... So first off, I don't think we see any of their planning. I think we just see what
we
they
don't have
do.
to. Yeah, we don't have to see it, but
for plot purposes, we know.
So this is dusk of night 4 or whatever it is, and then the final confrontation is dawn. So this is her last night as the Bloofer lady on the town.
Yeah.
My second thought is, I think I want their attack on her to come at nighttime, because I want to see a little bit of a fight.
That's why I'm thinking at dawn, just before dawn. They're waiting for her when she gets back.
Because we had said earlier about this them witnessing the thing about her and the kid and a guy.
Yeah, that's gonna be different, and that's what happens this evening. Like, I think she comes back either trailed by one of the urchin kids. Like, my thought now is she goes back out for one last night on the town, but all of a sudden the bar won't let her in because they think she's dangerous now because the newspapers. The prostitutes think she killed one of their own.
The bar is closed by order of the police.
Yeah. Like, there's nowhere for her to go in town or in, like, that neighborhood. And the street urchin gang chases her out. And the same kid that let Arthur know she was in there keeps following her and, like, shit-talking her. And, like, I'm thinking she snaps and, like, grabs him by the fucking scruff and lifts him up. And she's not going to assault him. She just wants him to fucking leave her alone. Because she's distraught.
Yeah.
But that's, like, right in the mouth of the mausoleum. So from inside where they're waiting, they think she's attacking him. Like, to eat him.
Yeah. The suggestion I was going to make, which I really like yours, but if we want to go a different direction, the suggestion I was going to make is, you know how when you're facing a real life monster every day, sometimes you're going to find refuge in fake monsters? And maybe this kid is like, maybe it's worth it to find the Bloofer lady, because maybe she will go after the thing that's hurting me. I'm not articulating that super well.
Oh, I'm just thinking he's doing it for the reward. There's a reward to capture the Bloofer lady, so he's gonna buy his gang a new house. His urchin street gang.
Yeah? Yeah, I like your idea.
Like, it could just be that simple. I think there's also a corpse there, and I think it's, like, the cemetery groundskeeper, because she had to feed when she woke up.
Yeah.
We just didn't see it.
I think there's a couple of corpses there now, because they're kind of piling up at this point.
No, but I mean a fresh one. Because she woke up hungry, went after Mina, got crucifixed away. On her way out of the graveyard, the first person...
I don't think we need to see a fresh one. I think there's already, like, 3 half-rotting corpses piled up. That's kind of scary enough, you know?
But if logically she's animal until she feeds, she has to feed. And with vampires, I think it's fresh blood.
Okay.
Or we could also do it's not necessarily a person, but it's like the best she could do was rats and maybe a cat or a dog.
That works.
Because I kind of like the visual also of, like, from the point of view of the hunters, dead rat, dead rat, dead rat, dead cat, corpse pile. Bloody handprints all over the mausoleum, you know?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think from here, we get that final confrontation again.
Yeah.
I think we need to Hollywood it up a little bit and have, like, the sun peek over a building and chase her into the mausoleum where they're waiting for her, and she fights back as best she can, but it's been a couple days since she's had human blood, if we're going with rats. And I assume then when she woke up with the lady and she's still alive, maybe she helped exterminate the rat problem in her apartment.
Yeah. Is Mina there? I don't think she is in the novel.
She is not.
I think she should be here, because I think that's going to have Lucy's guard be down.
I think as they're killing her, she remembers when she looks at Mina.
Yeah.
Like, her last word is Mina.
Yeah. And I also kind of like the idea that, like, I had a thought and I lost it.
While you're finding it, Van Helsing is saying things like, remember, she's not the Lucy you fell in love with and married. She's not your best friend of 10 years. She's a heartless monster and
that
undead
thing
corpse.
Is not Lucy.
And then she looks at Mina and goes, like, you see that spark of recognition. Mina. And then the stake in the heart. Garlic in the mouth, decapitation. That's
what I was going to say. You know, I know you've never seen a movie, Mark. The Del Toro Frankenstein. Where Elizabeth is like, why do you have him chained up downstairs? It's like, he doesn't know any better. Yeah, but you do. Like, I kind of have Mina in my head in this scenario is like, I don't know what she is now, but she's still, like, she was a person once. Yeah. All the men are violent around her towards her best friend, but she still holds that tenderness and doesn't want to see, even if she's being told that's not her best friend anymore, she doesn't want to see her harmed. Yeah. But alas, this being a tragedy. Yes. We love a tragedy. And I think, like, in the opening scene, we see the stake through the heart because, penetration. I think this scene is where we get the full violence of the actual death.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I almost want it to be a little bit lingering and a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I also think it's important that all three men are involved in her. All three of her suitors are involved in her
Demise.
second death. Yeah.
Yeah, at the instruction of Van Helsing. Mina does nothing.
Yeah.
And then as a little denouement off of it, I think we flash forward and Mina still leaves flowers at her grave, but her husband doesn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a post-credit scene.
Yeah. Or mid-credits. She goes with Harker.
Yeah.
And even Harker is like, bro, why do you make me relive the Dracula saga every year when we come to her grave? She was just another vampire. She was also my best friend, and I still love her,
Harker, I don't think Harker says anything. And the reason I say this is post-credits is because it seems like that should be the last thing we see.
Yeah.
Is just Mina and Jonathan enter frame. Mina walks forward and lays flowers at the grave. She stays there as John walks away.
I also think that
Iris out.
Yeah. I also think the flowers should be different from the flowers that Holmwood was leaving.
Maybe in an early scene she references what her favorite flower is and Mina leaves that flower.
Yeah.
Whereas Holmwood just leaves a gigantic expensive bouquet of whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You saw that, right?
Yes, I did.
Sorry, I just opened IMDb and Johnny Depp is Ebenezer. We should do Christmas Carol at some point on the other pod. We've done it on this one.
You should.
Yeah. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
So, I guess then we can start casting this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a big swing that I know is wrong, but it's close to what I want, for Quincy Morris, Jason Mantzoukas.
I like your energy there.
What about Jason Mantzoukas for Van Helsing? Funny accent, a little bit crazy.
What about Sacha Baron Cohen for Van Helsing?
My original suggestion was going to be Keanu Reeves. Just playing off him being Harker in the original Dracula.
Can he be funny? I mean, that specific silly kind of funny.
I don't know. I don't know if he needs to, because this is more of a darker tone for us.
What about Harrison Ford?
He's a bit too old now.
But that's the point, is Van Helsing is old as fuck. Which, this was the 1800s, so he may have only been in his 50s.
On the Harrison Ford train, let's get Alden Ehrenreich for the Texan, for Quincy.
Yeah,
He played young Harrison Ford.
He did play young Harrison Ford. He's very charming and disarming and also energetic.
Yeah.
I like it. We should probably start writing these down.
That's what recordings are for.
I mean, if we ever... It is, but I remember there was one where we made a sequel to something, and then we had to remember who we cast in the original.
Fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
Either way, I like Alden Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich.
I like him for Quincy Morris.
Okay. For...
How about... You can probably easily guess why I'm going to say Mitt Derman for the Doctor.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. He was in The Martian.
Oh, Matt Damon.
The Departed. Yeah, Mitt Derman.
For who?
The Doctor. Van Helsing.
He is almost too young.
I don't hate it, though.
What about Defoe?
I like Defoe
as well.
Can do a funky accent. Can play serious and a little funny. For Seward, Dane DeHaan. Dehaan.
Looking him up. He, just based on this headshot on IMDb, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but based, this headshot on IMDb, he looks like the anorexic cousin of Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Which is perfect, to be honest.
I was thinking I'm familiar with him from, I think, Amazing Spider-Man, and he plays Green Goblin in that, and he has that kind of, single-minded focus on... I am a student, I am doing important work. That kind of vibe. If not him, maybe Rami Malek.
Let's go Dane DeHaan. I don't hate that.
I'd prefer Dane DeHaan over Rami Malek.
Okay.
He's such a nothing of a character that I have to go back and look up the name of Arthur Holmwood. Again, this is not the perfect actor, but it's kind of the
Energy.
energy and image in my head. Elmer Zglue, just paste.
I was thinking going the Frankenstein route, Jacob Elordi, but he might be too defined.
Yeah, his face has like features.
If he wasn't a total shitbag, Armie Hammer would be perfect for this.
Honestly, I was thinking the other shitbag.
Chalamet?
No, other shitbag. Hawaiian cult. The Flash.
Oh, Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Because I also want somebody that conceivably plays gay.
That's why I was thinking Jacob Elordi, because Saltburn.
What about the guy he plays across from in Saltburn?
Barry Keoghan?
Oh, Barry Keoghan is too identifiable. And also another shitbag. Although that gives me an idea for fucking Lucy, Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh!
Adorable, incredibly beautiful, incredibly talented actress.
Mm-hmm. And Mia Goth was already Elizabeth, so we can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know who this person is, and I've never seen a movie, so I can't go based on what he was in. Ewan Mitchell.
Ewan Mitchell. Is he Misfits?
No.
He's in Saltburn.
He's also in Wuthering Heights.
Ah.
Aemon Targaryen in House of the Dragon.
Look at
Look
at that face and tell me that it inspires any kind of
You're
fear.
right. Ewan Mitchell.
Yeah, Ewan Mitchell.
Nailed it.
Ambiguously gay, yes. And also his character in House of the Dragon is a cunt.
Then we just need Mina.
Mina, yes. She's a little too old, but the woman that played Cersei. I mean, if we wanted to go real strong, we could go Olivia Rodrigo. If not Olivia Rodrigo, who plays fucking Wednesday Addams? What's her name?
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
No, that's strong.
Because I want one of them to be blonde and one of them to be dark-haired. And also, Jenna Ortega and Sabrina Carpenter did a music video together parodying Death Becomes Her.
But also considering that Jenna Ortega is known for her dark hair role, having her be the blonde Mina Harker, and having Sabrina Carpenter be the brunette Lucy, I think is a fun play on casting.
Yeah.
Do we need a John Harker? I don't think we do. He's barely in it.
I agree.
Yeah.
We need her lesbian romance.
Oh,
I just want to cast Supergirl again. Millie Alcock.
Sadie Soverall.
how do you spell that last name?
Soverall.
Yeah.
You're just on Saltburn.
Who cares?
I was, just to throw it out there.
None of us have even seen Saltburn.
I don't even know what Saltburn is. I assume it's a kitchen injury.
Shit, who was I looking up? Maisie Williams.
Yeah. She has a very queer look.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyone else?
No, I think that's the main cast.
Yeah.
Got good vibes there.
Title, The Blue for
Yeah,
Lady?
I was gonna say, are we just gonna call this the Blue for Lady? The pee-pee poo-poo man?
Don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it. Poster.
I think this is one of those minimalist, open mausoleum door with the sun peeking over a hill in the background or something. Red text in the black rectangle in the middle of the open mausoleum door.
Okay. And is this another Halloween?
Either Halloween or January. Go Del Toro with it.
Yeah. Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I can see this in January.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So this has been The Bloofer Lady, inspired by Dracula. Well, this has been The Treatment, a podcast about stories. And we've been your hosts, Mark Lucas.
Billy Beck.
And Cody Beck.
And we'll see you at the movies.